If you've been in Airsoft long enough, you've probably heard it 100 times. Just get a LiPo. But what does that actually mean? Why LiPo? Why 3S? How do you even know if your battery is legit? Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about Airsoft LiPo batteries. There are multiple options on the market for Airsoft batteries, and in this video, I'll focus more on 3-cell batteries or 11.1 volts as they became standard. Let's start simple. Why LiPo? Before LiPos, Airsoft players mostly used nickel metal hydride or nickel cadmium packs. They were cheap, simple and, well, slow. LiPos or lithium polymer batteries changed the game. First benefit is their energy density. LiPos store more energy in a smaller package, meaning lighter weight and more power. Secondly, voltage stability. They maintain higher voltage under load, so your gun cycles faster and more consistently. Another advantage is responsiveness. With LiPos, you get that crisp trigger response, especially in upgraded AEGs. In short, LiPos deliver more punch in a smaller, lighter battery. Exactly what Airsoft players need. We cannot talk about LiPos without mentioning that they are indeed dangerous. Due to the chemistry they have inside, if handled improperly, they can catch on fire. Although these cases are rare, you should know the risks. More on how you can mitigate this later. Alright, here's where it gets nerdy, but important. How much current can your LiPo actually supply? That's where capacity and C rating come in. Capacity, in milliamp hours, defines how much total charge the battery can hold. Think of it as the size of a fuel tank. C rating shows how fast that energy can be safely discharged. Think of it as the thickness of the fuel line. There is a formula to calculate how many amps your battery can discharge. You multiply the capacity in amps by the C rating. Here is an example. 1200 milliamp hours, meaning 1.2 amp hours, multiplied by 25C equals 30 amps continuous discharge. 1200 milliamp hours multiplied by 50C equals 60 amps continuous discharge. So a higher C rating or bigger capacity means more current delivery. That matters for high torque motors, DSG builds or high rate of fire setups. This is why, when choosing a battery, the C rating is important, but does not tell the whole story. Let's take a practical example. Here we have two batteries, both 11.1 volts, one in 1800 mAh and one in 1100 mAh, both rated for 25C, so they should deliver a maximum of 27.5 amps and 45 amps. Let's connect the smaller one to a gun and shoot it through a chrono to see what rate of fire we get. And now, the bigger one. As you can see, even though both have the same discharge rate of 25C, the bigger capacity battery clearly delivers more current. This is not only affecting your full auto rate of fire, but also your semi-trigger response and cycle time. So the battery that is able to deliver the most discharge current will provide you with the snappiest version of your gun. Let's talk about charging and discharging now. This is one of the moments when you can cook a LiPo and unfortunately start a fire. The best thing you can get for your batteries and house is a good balance charger from a reputable brand. I know AliExpress and other Airsoft shops are full of cheap chargers, but trust me, you don't want to mess with any of that. How should you charge your battery safely? Balance charging at 1 or maximum 2C. Charging your battery at 1C will make sure it lives the longest life it can, but 2C charging will also be okay if you are in a rush. What do I mean by 1 and 2C? Basically, the charge rate for each battery should be the capacity number or maximum twice that. For example, you have a 1100 mAh battery, 1C charging would be 1.1 amps and 2C would be 2.2 amps. Never go above these C values and your battery will thank you. Balance charging means the charger is pumping voltage through the main discharge leads of the battery, but also monitors each cell individually through the balance port. If one cell is falling behind, it will slow down the charge to the others and pump more power to bring them back in line. A good practice for charging is to never let the charger unattended, and even better, have the battery in a LiPo fire safe bag while it's charging. A healthy battery, charged correctly, should never catch on fire. Speaking of healthy batteries, there are two ways to tell. If your battery is puffed up, feels squishy to the hand, that battery is done and risky. Do not charge it anymore and you should dispose of it properly. Another sign your battery is done would be very high internal resistance. Good smart chargers can display a battery's internal resistance per cell. This should be measured at full charge. I would say anything around 50 milliohms is approaching end of life and should be disposed of. The most common way to destroy your LiPo and potentially set it on fire is over discharging it. The absolute minimum for a LiPo is 3 volts per cell or 9 volts total. This is why proper ETUs have over-discharge protection, which will interrupt power once a battery gets to a certain voltage. If you can, set yours to 3.2 volts per cell. If you finish a game but did not fully drain your battery, the best thing you can do for it, to prolong its life and have it be safe, is to bring it to storage voltage. This is 3.8 volts per cell for LiPos. This is the point where the chemistry inside the battery is inert, basically not doing anything. I have seen batteries that were stored for more than 4 years at 3.8 volts per cell, and they were perfectly fine after charging. Again, a good charger comes in handy as it has a special mode called storage where it does all the work for you. Keeping your battery in storage voltage when not used is also important for its longevity. I cannot recall exactly where I read this, but some studies claim that a LiPo left fully charged for 30 days loses 5% of its capacity in that time period, which tracks because I had a big LiPo when I was a beginner and always kept it fully charged for a year. After that, I could not even shoot one magazine before it was done for. And this was a 4000 mAh battery, so they are onto something. Okay, time for some myth busting. Does your 1450 mAh LiPo really hold 1450 mA? Spoiler alert, probably not. Manufacturers sometimes inflate ratings for marketing. Your actual capacity can be 5 to 20% lower. How to find the real capacity? Using a good charger, fully charge your pack in balance mode, then using the same charger to drain or discharge it down to 3.0 volts per cell. The charger's display should tell you exactly how many milliamps were discharged, and that is your real capacity. It's like a dyno run for your battery. The label says 1450, but the dyno says 1200. Of course, never leave a battery discharged, so after this test, if you don't plan to use it, set it back to storage voltage. So now you know why LiPos rule Airsoft, how to read those labels, charge safely, and spot marketing fluff. Let me know down in the comments if this was helpful for you, consider liking this video, and share any LiPo hazard stories you have, I would love to hear them. Subscribe to the channel for more informative videos and gameplay. That Spits of Tournament is coming soon. See you in the next one.